How cool is that? Now I got a countdown clock. I'm like a real time broadcaster. And check this out. We can even do, oh my goodness. We can even do, check this out. Sounds a little scratchy. We've got a little bit of background music. What do you guys think about that? We've got lounge. Here we are. This is what happens when you let me out of the box and all of a sudden I'm playing with the stuff that's going on. I'm learning how to be a real-time broadcaster yet again. This is little Julie Lavender right here in the barn at Dream Farm. And do we like the lounge music? What about down tempo? Let's try the down tempo. I prefer jazz music, but they didn't seem to have that. So let's go with ambient for now, okay? And get you guys all hooked up. What I want to do before I start giving you some info today is I want to post the link to Facebook because Facebook has decided to be difficult and not allow us to have an automatic update to Facebook. So that's really sad to me. Facebook is finding is making it harder and harder for you, to escape the board, right? So let's see what can happen if I post this live. Here, free. Okay, let's see what happens when I post the link. Let's see if I show up, you guys. Look at that. It's a little grainy. It's a little, but that's one way to skin the cat. Lisa taught me that you can post your link. So we'll give that a shot and see if it makes a difference. I'm not happy with the way it looks, but let's just go for it. I'm not seeing that I have my friends back on. I'm not exactly sure why. Let's see if Larry and Lisa are there. Okay, I'm done playing around. I'll just give you what I got. You are watching Fear Free Living with me. I'm your friend Julie Lavender, and I'm little Julie Lavender from Bakersfield, California. And you gotta realize that most of my life that wasn't something I wanted to say. I didn't want anybody to know that I was little Julie Lavender from Bakersfield, California, because I dreamed of so much more than that, and I felt embarrassed about all my weaknesses, and I felt embarrassed about being the town, the Hickville town. And my mom was actually an opera singer, and she redefined Bakersfield, California, I think, with her opera. And having big, huge dreams, I was always between the desire to do great things and then the fear that I was a poser. And that is a big part of what fear-oriented people deal with, is this idea that when you finally come to bring your gifts and talents to the world, you never got a notification this time. Well, I'm glad you showed up. That's really weird. Thanks for sharing it. I don't know why the notifications didn't go out. Hang on, let's go back and check studio. As long as I'm learning my skills. Oh, wait. How do you go back? You can go and check your studio while you're on the stream. Can you do that, Lisa? No, I don't know if you can. Maybe I can do it over here. I can only do so much. The chats are working on Restream. That's good. It's weird about the notifications. I don't get that. But thanks so much. I just texted Larry. He probably didn't get any notification either. How weird. Look at the connections. Okay, so I'm finding out, Lisa, that while I'm on and I'm in studio, if I hit the button to go over to dashboard, it's like it wants to take me out of studio mode. Is that exactly right? So I'm pulling up a different browser, and we'll just see about that. Thank you guys for letting me work through all the silliness and nonsense. Because generally speaking, when I do, chat is not working on D Live. That's weird. Let's see what's happening. Well, all of my destinations are on. And it says online, including, I do get to tell you this. Yesterday, I actually did broadcast a Cloudhub, even though there was no um, picture or anything. It was a terrible broadcast. Let me ask you this while we're just doing tech stuff here. Is the image very clear? Is the image very clear? Can you see me clearly? Because when I'm pulling up another browser, it's very pixelated and kind of weird and blurry. Is that what you guys are seeing? Let me know. You saw me on Cloudhub. Thank you. How's the image today? Is it, I'm grainy. I know. How weird is that? I'm not grainy. I'm not grainy, and I mean, I don't look grainy from here, but I guess I'm grainy there. It's a little better. It's getting a little bit better. I'm blurry. I know, and I haven't had anything to drink. I'm telling you, what is up with that? Well, okay, so part of great webinar. Oh, Miguel, thank you. Yeah, you know what's interesting is I posted my webinar, and the webinar that's posted is specifically hitting professionals where you live and where we live. The issue with professionals and the issue with dealing with fear of professionals, as long as I'm kind of all over the map and brought up the webinar, is that people who are highly competent and professional at what they do have the downside of being highly competent and able to do many things and able to keep everything going, to fix things for other people, to get things done, to move out of their core competencies and completely and entirely avoid the reality that they are highly functioning, terrified people. And so one of the things that I like to do, and when we're doing Fear-Free Living broadcasts together, occasionally I will deal with the issue of why you can be a very successful and competent person and completely not be someone who is living in reality as far as what's going on in your heart. You can be functioning out of this core ability to do so many things, but inside you're using that as an excuse to run from the one thing you know God has called you to do, the one thing in your heart that you would love to do, but you're already defined as the person who makes the trains run on time, the person who does the books, the person who runs the office, the person who takes care of everyone else's needs, the fixer, the doer, the administrator, the one who always shows up for others. And so the webinar that I did, I specifically am targeting burnt out professionals. And so they're used to investing a lot of time and energy, maybe into coaching, maybe into their own businesses. They know that they have to make an investment in order to get a return. So they're thinking ROI all the time, ROI. Now, and it's a little bit different than what I did here for a couple of years, which was just to get on every day for a half an hour and talk about the fear state to help people understand that it's a learned state so that we could all get through the pandemic and we could all get through the pain and the terror and the control of fear right in a daily basis. So that was what I was doing. And then I shifted to try to reach super highly competent professional people who are burnt out, because underneath all of the things that they're doing and all the ways they're performing and all the ways they're successful, they're really in a very deep state of denial and avoidance. So my webinar targets people who are experiencing burnout, because when you're in denial and avoidance, you're dealing with fear. You're dealing with something that scares you, something that's a threat. Being seen, being known, stepping down from the competency race, stepping down from the competency trap into the vulnerability of doing something that's very scary, very threatening, very exposing. And so, what would happen if I could reach professionals who have a longing and a yearning to deal with something, do something, express something, say something to the world, but they never get a break because they're too busy running it? What if you're just so busy running the world all the time that you don't ever stop to realize that that ability to fix and shape and care and manage is actually your big ticket out of dealing with what scares and terrifies you? So in my webinar, when you register, it says 5 secrets that burnout professionals know when they want to move from avoidance, procrastination, and self-sabotage into doing their dream work. And what I mean by that is the thing you were created to do, the thing that you know you need to bring into the earth, but you've been really, really avoiding doing it. Now, sometimes that fear manifests in the way in which you do your work. Okay. So you might be the top dog and you might think you're doing the thing and you might think you're present and you're really in your A game. But if you're someone who is emotionally siloed and you're hiding behind control, hiding behind dominance, or hiding behind subservience in that role, part of what maybe really scares you is stepping into deeper conversations with people, is dealing with dysfunction, is dealing with controlling behaviors or sabotaging behaviors. So sometimes you can even be in the sphere of your gifting and ability, but you can be really, really paralyzed by fear and self protection so that you function there in a super unhealthy way. So, what if I reached out to burnout professionals and I began to teach them about fear? And if I offered them a very high level, let's dig into this opportunity with me personally to kind of go after this stuff, what would it be like to disciple and train leaders and professionals into destiny and purpose? Well, I think they're going to, as I continue my broadcast, I think I'm going to bump into more people that might be in that category than I had originally assumed on these live streams. So you will see, and I'm going to go ahead and post it after all that big long thing. Let's see this. If you'd like to, you can watch. It's a free 45-minute or so webinar on multidimensional mastery, how you deal with the single most paralyzing thing that keeps you from doing what you're created to do on all levels of your being. So you're not just simply band-aiding your process and slapping a little duct tape over your issues, a little duct tape over your life, a little duct tape over what's not working for you and what is keeping you from kind of showing up. So here's the deal. Here is the free webinar link. You can watch it, and then there's a opportunity at the end for some kind of drilling down into what's really going on with you, and you can do that if you're interested. But today I'm kind of getting back and used to speaking with you guys, touching base, making sure the tech is working, making sure my nifty 60-second setup clock worked, making sure that I actually have a video out there streaming where you can see my face and hear what I have to say. That would be good. Yesterday was a complete waste, a complete bomb. Thank goodness that you can delete some of these things. And but I'm just setting the bar here that we are going to speak daily together for 15-20 minutes, Monday through Friday, on learning the life skill of fear-free living and giving you nuggets to help you shift your paradigm away from a victim mentality when it comes to your fears. Most people have a very deep victim mentality. I'm afraid I'm terrorized. Therefore, I must do everything I possibly can not to feel that. So therefore, I do these behaviors that keep me, that I am very invested in, so that I don't feel this fear. And then it has the boomerang effect of actually increasing the anxiety and depression over time. So it becomes this really um, wicked cycle. Avoiding what scares you actually means it's probably going to eat you for lunch. Um, you know what, Miguel? That webinar is targeted to people who don't know him yet. And if you were connected more deeply to the process, you'd see that I offer them an opportunity to go there in my one on one work and in my deeper work. But sometimes you have to set the hook and you have to take a group of people, if you're shooting for a group of people that you want to reach, and you have to give them a way in. And this is part of what I do in every area of ministry. My entire life has always been about positioning myself to allow people a way in to something that may externally be very threatening to them. And sometimes the spiritual life and the world that we live in is very threatening to people. And so if we can hit them with key concepts that helps them understand what's happening to themselves and see a need, and if I can help them meet that need, it's amazing. Um, Michael, you need to knock that off right now. Okay. I don't know how to do it yet, but I can block you just like that. And I will. So don't go talking trash about my friends. So anyway, if we meet a deep need, we open a door, as opposed to what you just did, which shut one in judgment. So, my friends, I will leave it there for now. I just want you to know that I will be here tomorrow at 12:30 to talk more and mentor you on and give you a voice in, a way in to finding a way to deal with your deepest needs and the things that are shutting you down. You may or may not be even a believer. You may not know where you are in the spectrum and you stumbled onto this. You may wonder if fear-free living is even possible for you. And that's the answer I'm going to give you. Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. It's definitely possible for you. And we're going to work on that together. So everyone, I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow now that we got the tech handle. And I want to dig in more deeply to give you some key insights. And I'll look forward to doing that. So between now and then, I want you to start asking your question. The big question I want you to ask is it possible for me to live fear-free? Is it really possible? And if it is, what's that worth to me? And I'm willing to walk down that path. Join me tomorrow at 12:30 and we will figure it out.